Your Astroneer world may be about to be cancelled forever. All your precious advancements, contraptions and achievements that you have worked on with so much sweat may be lost forever. This has already happened to a number of fellow Astroneers, but I've got the solution so that you won't be the next. Why has that happened to so many players? Most of the times because of some silly mistake or action, sometimes because of a glitch, or the save files got corrupted and the world got lost, or some players just have messed up with the save files. But don't worry, this won't happen to you if you watch this video to the end. I will show you how to make sure your Astroneer worlds are kept safe and sound. You may know that in most games, save files get bigger and bigger the more you progress and the more items you add. But in Astroneer, there is one more thing to consider.
There's one more thing.
What really makes huge save files in Astroneer is terrain. Yes, playing with soil makes bigger files, especially if you have messed up with the terrain a lot, as adding or removing a lot of soil increases the file size. Remember, not only adding soil makes the file bigger, but also removing it. For example, people who had been destroying the Solo have had problems with their files because the files got too big. The Solo's vengeance. Initially it would just take a really long time to load, but eventually some files got corrupted and they could just not load the save file anymore. Look at that explosion. I've got like 10 frames per second, maybe, not even that, and look at that, it's super slow. And I like how resources just pop out of nothing, it's crazy. So what will save your world is to always create copies of your save files from time to time. You can do this from the menu, select your game files and duplicate it. Now repeat every week for 100 times. Not very convenient, is it? If you don't want to have a long list of files, just keep 2 or 3 duplicated files and keep on overwriting and renaming these same files with a progressive number so that you know which one is the latest and which one is the backup. But if you really want to be safe, duplicating files may not be enough. Maybe once a week or a month, go to the Astroneer folder and copy these files and paste them in a folder named Astroneer Backups, and place it somewhere else on your PC. Check in the description of the video below the path where you can find your save files. I'm not sure if you can do something similar on consoles or if it even makes sense, so let me know in the comments if you know and I can add that to the description too. Congrats, you have completed the first step to protect your Astroneer world. Next, let's talk about a mistake that can cost you the loss of your achievement. Like the possibility of getting an achievement for making 10 fireworks crack in a few seconds. I mean, we don't want to lose that, right? What some people do is they start a new adventure game, then they make some progress, but suddenly notice the creative mode button, which would transform the world in a creative one and give you infinite resources, unlimited fuel and invincibility. We all did that. I mean, it's a little cheat, but it seems too good not to be clicked. And in fact, it is too good to be true, you little cheater. It's literally scam. When you click it, you will soon realize that your progress is lost for good.
Oh, no.
What happened is that you can keep your word, of course, but all your missions and achievements will be blocked, so you won't be able to make any further progress in that world. If you would like to transform your adventure world into a creative one, here's the right way to do it. In the menu, select your adventure world, duplicate it and rename it to Creative or whatever you want. Then load it, and now from the menu transform it in Creative. In this way you can still progress organically in your adventure world, but feel invincible in this creative one. Before we watch the next recommendation, share this video with your fellow Astroneer. They will be so grateful that you helped save their world. The next thing I want to talk about is when your contraption is broken because something is not working correctly anymore. Maybe one of the expensive machines that requires a lot of resources has stopped working. Well, you'd be glad to know that you can fix it with a simple graphite. When an item stops working correctly or gets glitchy, the first thing is obviously to reboot your PC or console. I know I'm a genius, I got many degrees to figure that out. But if that doesn't fix it, use a graphite to craft a packager. Pack up the item that is not working by attaching the packager onto it and activate it. Then unpack it. This will bring the object to its initial intended state, and you will most likely have solved your issue. And now let's talk about a controversial topic. Should you update your Astroneer game? First of all, make sure your operating system is up to date. That's always a good idea, no cap. Secondly, while it is true that updating the game may bring some bugs from time to time, the game is usually safe as it is tested by many gamers, and I have the privilege to cooperate in testing Astroneer beta. In addition, it's very unlikely that it brings some serious bugs, and if it does, they will be addressed quickly with a patch. But on the other side, you can expect many improvements and of course some new features or events. So I would definitely recommend to always keep your game up to date. Another thing to pay attention to is don't forget that very complex events may corrupt your save files. For example, if you're trying to push the limits of the game by having too much dynamite exploding at the same time, you may encounter very bad frame rate. Any resemblance to the solo is purely coincidental. And the same thing is true for custom games. If you're trying to add too many modifiers, for example too many hazards, as this pop-up clearly explains, you may literally melt your machine. And that would definitely corrupt your game. Let me know any other tip you have in the comments, and please like the video if it was useful. Stay safe.